Hello, welcome back to day 2 with Rachel Hannah. Hi, Rachel.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Are you?
Good. I'm good. I'm ready for day 2. We had a lot of fun yesterday. If you guys missed it, you can watch the replay available on Behance. But say hello in the chat. Let us know where you guys are watching from. If you were able to join us yesterday, looks like we have people joining already. Cody and Sam, John, Andreas, Robert, Megan. Hello. Welcome to a fun day. We're going to be on Lightroom Mobile again, and Rachel's going to be showing her process there and then jumping over to Adobe Spark as well. So I'm really excited. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure to come over to Behance, behance.net/live. That's where we're going to be able to see you chat and make sure we answer your questions. And if you're chatting on YouTube, we won't be able to see it. We want to make sure that we get to everyone's questions. So hello, Greg. Cartier, hello. Yeah, we're gonna have fun today. And Rachel, where are you right now?
So at the moment, I'm based just outside of Liverpool in the UK, and it's about 5:30 here in the evening. So
nice.
Yeah,
We're getting ready to wind down for the evening right after the stream.
Yeah, and then it's Friday tomorrow.
And then it's Friday. Yes.
Look forward to the weekend.
Yes. What a great way to end your week.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and pull up your work so we can just take a peek at your beautiful images before we jump into editing some of them. So this is Rachel's Instagram. It's Rachel Hannah. Make sure to go and give her a follow. I'm sure Cody will drop the link into the chat too, so you guys can click through and easily take a peek. But let's just pull up. Yesterday we looked at these cows, which is so cute. But Rachel is a wildlife, lifestyle, outdoors photographer, capturing beautiful, beautiful images and editing mostly on her phone, right?
Yeah. So it's all on my mobile. I use
all on your phone. Wow.
I only use Lightroom mobile. I don't use desktop.
Yeah, which is super unique. And so it was so fun to see your process yesterday and to get to see more of it today. And I know yesterday you mentioned creating a series today, so that's going to be really fun. Look at how cute this little duckling is. Yeah, just really beautiful, magical work. And so definitely go check her out, give her a follow, and make sure to ask questions of Rachel. Take advantage of her knowledge while she's here. And so, yeah, we can just jump right in. I feel like we have a lot to do, and let's just get started.
Cool. Okay. So so we did a bit of editing yesterday, autumnal edits, and I showed my process and color grading, and we did a little bit in Adobe Spark. So today I want to carry on doing some more autumn edits and how I edit certain shots on Lightroom Mobile, and then I'm going to take those shots that I've edited and then take them into Adobe Spark and create 3 series. So I'm going to create a Scotland series, so a location in Scotland that I absolutely love, and it was actually filmed in it was actually part of a Harry Potter film, like the inspiration behind the Harry Potter films, the Glenfinnan Viaduct. So I'm going to do a series on that. I'm going to do a series on wildlife and a series on lighthouses. Because I want to just show that I know we were talking yesterday that a series, a particular place, it can be a series of different places. So I'm going to put together a series of lighthouses I've taken from Wales, from Scotland, from down south, just everywhere. So it doesn't have to be in one particular place. It can be a feature on lighthouses. It can be a series on wildlife. So I'm going to start off. and I'm going to go straight in with my favourite deer photo that I've taken.
Oh,
so this was taken down a nice long sort of I don't know, it's like 12-mile stretch of like Scottish Highlands. It's truly beautiful. And I actually went down this road looking for deer, and we didn't find any until we were just about to pull off, and then this female deer just sort of ran out. I was like, oh, quick, we need to get a photograph. And she was really tame, to be honest. She was quite tame. She kept wandering over to cars and stuff. So I just quickly got out and got this picture, and then I didn't want to disturb her too much. So we drove back off again, but I managed to get this, and I'm really pleased with it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's quite sharp as well. This was taken with a Canon 80D, actually.
Look at that texture in her
fur. You can see in the fur and everything.
Oh.
So this was actually with a Canon 80D. I now use a Sony A7 III for my images, but what I like to do is edit. So let's go straight in. And we talked yesterday about presets. So I do have presets. I have autumnal presets that I use on photographs that I'm going to use during autumn. But I think for people who didn't see yesterday, I'll go straight in and edit from scratch, and then I'll apply my presets as we go along to the next ones.
That sounds great. And your presets are available to purchase, right?
Yes.
Not yesterday, so.
Yeah, so if you go onto my Instagram and follow the link in bio, I've got presets there. So yeah, do check them out if you want.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so let's go straight in. So I always start off by editing the light of a photograph. So there isn't actually much light here. It was a very drab, rainy day, dull day, lots of mist around. So it doesn't offer a lot of light. So if we go straight in and go to the curve, a curve tool is my favorite. I always tend to drop the highlights down a little bit, and then shadows in this particular photo. Yeah, and then just some of the brightness, because with wildlife photography as well, because the subject is usually the main focus of the photograph in the middle, I try to bring the animal out a bit more. So it might be focusing in, making the edges darker, and using selective tools to bring out the features of the animal to begin with. So just contrast that out. I always drop the highlights. That's how I sort of get my matted, soft look. Shadows, drop the whites, the blacks. Okay, so that's it with light. And then I go into colour, and now I go straight into colour grading. And I always like my shadows to be sort of like a bluey hue. And it tends to be around the 218 mark, usually. I don't want it too blue because it's autumnal, and I want warm colours, so I don't want it to be too blue. So I might not up the blues in these too much. The luminance, I don't really play around with too much. No. And then I just go straight to the highlights. And I like my highlights to be nice and warm, so put the hues around 35 usually, and then I just enhance the saturation in that, so make it quite warm. So if I come off that and we just do a quick before, start with it before, and that's after. So it looks very matted at the moment.
Yeah.
As you see there, that you could see quite clearly the din and looks quite matted, but this is just my style. So then I'll go. I might warm it up just a tad, and then go into effects and sort of vignette ever so slightly, but not too much. I like soft clarity, but bear with me because I'm gonna focus in on the deer in a minute. So I like the soft, because the background is quite soft, but I like a softer background when there's a lot of grass and trees and leaves and stuff. So I'm going to soften that off a bit. And then that is it for the moment. So now I'm going to head to the selective tool. And what I will do is I will just colour in with my finger. That's probably a bit too big. About just the size with my finger, and then just colour in sort of the face where the main focus was, and up the sharpness and clarity up just a bit, and the contrast just to bring out the sort of darkness of it again. And as I mentioned yesterday, when there's an animal like this and the eye is quite, nicely focused, I like to bring out, as you mentioned, the sparkle.
The sparkle in the eye.
The little sparkle in the deer's eye. So let's just bring that out. Okay, so it's clarity. Let's just up that. Okay, and then so with an image so flat like this, sometimes I will add in my own light because I knew the light was coming in from the left of the deer or the right on this image.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to bring in my own light here using a linear tool. Only a bit though. And then I always like to darken off the corners to draw their eye into the subject. It just adds a little bit more depth.
Yeah,
to the photo.
It really does. It makes a big difference. It's so subtle, but
yeah. So that was before.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see the sharpness of the deer a little bit more before, but I like softer sort of feels to photos. So
it feels more dreamy.
Yeah, I like the dreamy effect.
Yeah.
I might just up the clarity just a little bit more. Okay, I'm happy with that one. So let's go to another deer because we're going to do the wildlife series first. Okay, so now we're talking about presets. If I go into my presets and find my autumnal ones, here I've got autumn pinecone, golds, autumn colour is what we made yesterday, and autumn chestnut. But actually looking at these, I don't know if any of them fit with this particular image. If I went for autumn golds, it makes it too gold.
Yeah.
So what I might do in this instance is just drop the temperature down a bit. So again, that was before and that's after. It's made it a bit too green. So just drop the greens off a little bit.
Yeah, Cody says the lighting vignette added a lot to that last image, which it definitely did. I love that little trick. It's so helpful. And then Greg asked, do you ever worry about tech neck doing this much work on a phone or tablet or device? Like, how do you take care of your neck and your body?
It's true, and I do worry about it, because only just recently I've been getting a bad neck. Yeah. And I don't know if it's the way I'm sleeping or it is just because I'm editing on my phone, but I do have to do quite a few neck stretches. But I do try when I edit, especially if I'm sat on the sofa downstairs, I will tend to just try and sit a little bit and keep the phone a little bit more upright. Because it is, I mean, even now when I'm on here, it's easy to just go into a little slump of or bring your phone up at it.
Yeah.
It is something you need to be mindful of, because we are all always on our phones anyway. I just use all my time on my phone to edit.
Yeah.
That's the difference. So instead of being on social media all the time, it's just editing my photographs. But yeah, I don't know. It could be old age as well. I don't know. But yeah, I am getting a bad neck.
Stretching helps a lot, I think, and taking breaks.
Definitely take breaks. I notice after a while when I've done a bit too much, I'll just put the phone down and go make a cup of tea or something. But definitely take breaks. So I'm just going to warm this one up a bit more with oranges to bring out the autumnal.
Cody asked if you ever work from the iPad or if you just work from your phone.
It's mainly my iPhone. But sometimes I will work from my iPad because it's obviously a bigger screen. But because I use my phone all the time, it's a habit I've got into of just picking up my phone, going straight on the Lightroom mobile. Yeah. But if there is a particular image that I really want to work on, for a number of hours, then I will just, open up the iPad and do it that way. Yeah. And it's just a bigger screen. So
yeah.
It's mainly my phone.
It's so impressive that you do all of that work from your phone.
I've been doing this now about 5 years, just on my phone. So I know, I don't really know any other way. Like I've tried desktop, and
Yeah.
I've tried it for a few weeks, and it's just not the same as being able to pick up the phone and just edit a photograph there and then, especially when I'm out and about. And I mentioned yesterday with this adapter that I use to get my photographs off. If I'm out in Scotland and I've just taken my favourite picture like ever, and I can't wait to get back and edit it, I will just put that into my phone, upload the photo, and then when we're travelling about and I'm the passenger, I'll just start editing there and then without having to like load up a laptop, or haven't got internet connection.
You don't have to wait at all.
No, or if I haven't got signal on my phone, so yeah, it's just easier, I think, and it's just something that I've just gotten used to over time.
Yeah. Did you start out using Lightroom mobile, or did you start out with desktop?
Mobile.
You started with mobile?
Yeah, so I've just started off on mobile because I was taking photographs on my phone originally. I had an iPhone.
Right.
I had an iPhone 8. Everywhere we went, I was just taking photographs on the phone, and then I was choosing lots of different editing apps, and they just weren't doing it for me. And then someone said, "Oh, why don't you try Lightroom mobile?" So I was like, "Okay." Yeah. And then I've been hooked ever since. So.
Now you're addicted.
I know, I'm addicted to it. Yeah. But it's only it's positive addiction, I think.
Absolutely. Cody says that SD card adapter is really convenient when on the go. I've never seen those before, and I'm gonna need to get one.
Yeah, definitely. I just got Amazon. I just typed in adapter for iPhone or mobile, and you can just put your SD card in, and it takes a mini one as well, and you can just put it straight into your laptop or your phone. So it's really useful.
Yeah. That's so useful.
Okay, I'm happy with that. I think let's see before, so very green, and then after, maybe I've gone a bit too dark there. Sort of autumnal vibe.
So majestic.
Yes. Where is? I'm sure I had another squirrel somewhere. Oh, hold on one second. I didn't move it into the album, that was why. It's in this one. It's in the wildlife one. There's one here as well. I wanted to edit.
Oh my gosh.
Look, cute red squirrel on the floor.
His little tail.
It was posing for me there, I think.
He really was. He wanted a photo.
Yeah. So I just need to edit out the fallen feeder. Because it was a bird feeder of nuts, and it got a little bit excited and knocked it off, and then the nuts went everywhere. He knew what he was doing, I think.
Of course, yes.
Okay, so here again, I was warmed to like autumn golds. It's very yellow, but again, I'm going to drop down the temperature.
Yeah.
It was a very bright day, as you can see, so I'm just going to drop down.
Yeah, Cody says, so fluffy. It's so cute.
I absolutely love red squirrels. I wish they were closer. I think the nearest red squirrels to myself is probably a little island in Wales called Anglesey. We have some there. They have a very small population on a little place called Formby Beach, but I don't think it's as big. And whenever we go there, I never really see them. So
so cute. I've never seen one.
Oh, they are very cute. Let's put too light there. Let's put this in.
As a reminder to you guys, Adobe Max is coming up in a few weeks. It's going to be October 26th through 28th, and it's going to be online and free, available to everyone. So make sure that you sign up for that. We'll put the link into the chat so that you guys can click through. And there's also going to be something called Visual Conversations, or there is something called Visual Conversations that's happening right now leading up to Max with a different theme every week. This week is photography. Next week, I believe, is illustration. And you can go to maxvisualconversations.com and see more there, participate with the different conversations that are happening, share your work, and engage with the other work that's being shared. And it's kind of a way for people to get to know each other, see each other's work, and connect before Max begins, which is pretty awesome. So make sure to check that out.
Okay, so just got rid of the bird feeder.
Nice.
I don't want. I might just. It needs to feel like it's a bit more, because I can see where I've edited it. You see, so
yeah, a little bit. But I feel like if you didn't know, you may not see it. But because you know, you're gonna always see it there.
Yeah. Just trying to find like around the edges that. Okay, and let's just. I know this was again. I had to have a high ISO with this picture because the lighting, it was okay, but it wasn't great. So I'm just going to give him a little sparkle.
Cute.
Oh, he's cute. Okay, I'm happy with that. And I'm choosing this particular one because my mum's watching and she absolutely loves this photograph. So I'm going to edit it for her. And this was the one I was talking about yesterday, where the deer was in the background.
Yes.
And I had to really remove it with the healing tool. And this is like, it comes to the power of the healing tool.
Yes. Okay, perfect.
So, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and edit.
Hi to Rachel's mom.
Yeah, she said this was one of her favorites of mine, and I was just like, okay, well, I use the healing tool a lot on this photograph, and this will be a good thing to show people that actually you can use the healing tool on your phone.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think everyone knows that, and that's so powerful to be able to use that on your phone.
Yeah.
Cody says, oh, wow, stunning deer in the snow.
Yeah, this was at a little park called Dun and Massey. It's about 15-20 minutes. Oops, oh god, it's from where I live here, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning in the snow. So
yeah,
I always tend to run up there with a camera when we do get a tiny bit.
Yes, it's beautiful.
I might need to just turn my phone a bit to get to this. The tricky bit will be the antlers.
Yes,
in between.
How they're crossing over each other.
Yeah. Because now I need to sort of, because sometimes you might put it in, and then you think, oh no, so you have to go back over it again. So sometimes it needs double. So I need to go back over it again now, to try and hide it a little bit more and blend it in. So sometimes if you do a lot of healing tool edits on your phone, your fingers can get in the way.
Yeah.
So you end up clicking one that you've done before. That's the only sort of critique of it, should I say, is just your fingers. So sometimes I'll use a stylus, like a little pen, to do like the really small little edits.
The very detailed edits.
Yeah. It's probably a bit too big for that space. So I'm just... Okay. And then...
It's looking good.
Yeah, it's when you zoom out, you notice.
Then you can see, what still needs to be fixed and adjusted. Yeah, when you're so close in, you can't see all those.
I've noticed sometimes I could be like this, trying to edit.
Yeah.
I'm on a live. Don't do this. Okay, so at the moment, let's see. No, that's not going to work. So I might need to just go back over it again in a minute. I've done this before, so I know it works. It's just patience.
It is possible.
It's possible. It's just patience.
Yes. Yes.
As well, I wasn't printing this photo. This is for social media and Instagram. So people can't really zoom in because the really annoying thing about Instagram is you lose your quality of your photo. So
yes,
it can work in favor, but not favor sometimes.
right. Yeah, pros and cons to that for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, Cody is reminding us we have an artist spotlight later in the stream. And if you want to nominate yourself or someone else to be featured on an artist spotlight in the future, you can fill out the form in the tab that's right above the chat. It says artist spotlight. You can nominate yourself or someone else there to be featured.
Okay,
that looks really good.
It's just a little bit of an antler just peeking out there.
Like a
the
tiny
snow.
bit.
So I'm just going to cover that. Okay.
That's so incredible that you can do that from your phone, honestly.
Yeah, because now I'm going to edit it, so you probably wouldn't notice it even more then.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to preset and let's just see what my... Okay, Autumn Gold is singing to me at the moment. But I'm going to drop the temperature down just a little bit. As you can see, because it was a cold day, it was awesome. You know, there was still bits of leaves and, you know, orange around the trees and stuff, but it was predominantly sort of snowy. So I do want to bring in that element of winter. And then I'm just going to drop the shadows a little bit. And then, can you see the deer?
Yes.
You can see the deer in the corner. Yeah, I don't want to crop it, it's fine. Let's put a little sparkle in his eye. Because he was just sitting there posing for me.
He really was.
Yeah. Okay, and let's just give a little bit of highlights to it. Just a tad. And then I'm going to do my usual linear gradient, just to darken off, just to draw your eye in a little bit more to him. See, normally now, so what's shouting to me now is to get rid of this along the bottom, because that's annoying me. Because it was just a bit too in your face.
Yeah, a little bit distracting.
Yeah. Let me just move that up ever so slightly. There, I think. Is that on? Okay, cool. And there's just a little bit there. Okay, I'm happy with that. So that was before and after. So now you never know he was there.
Yeah.
Although I might just put a bit of a vignette there. Just there we go. Perfect. Cool.
It's beautiful.
Okay, so I've got 4 photographs there. So I'm going to go into Adobe Spark now and try and create a little bit of a series with these photographs. So if you're posting on Instagram as a carousel, when I say series, I mean like a carousel post on Instagram.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you were, I was talking yesterday about storytelling, and if you're going out somewhere and you're taking a photograph of a forest, then it's always nice to photograph things around you. So it could be, you know, the chestnuts on the floor, it could be the detail in the leaves, it could be the wildlife that you see, acorns, anything, and put that into a carousel post. So you've got your main image on your feed as a, you know, the lovely forest shot, but then when people scan through, they can also see other things that you found there, and it just sort of tells a story to people that, you know, I didn't just turn up and take a photograph of the forest, you know, this is what else I found there, this is what else is in that forest, or woodland or whatever. So yeah, so with the series, but you don't, someone asked you know, a great question yesterday saying, you know, do I have to be in the same place? And no, you don't. So this is it. So I'm going to create a wildlife series today. So a little story of my images I've collected over, you know, going to Scotland, going to Dunham Massey, which is like 10 minutes from my house, of all these like animals, and yeah. So let's go into Spark and create the series. And if you're not familiar with Adobe Spark, then I highly recommend sort of, logging in with your Adobe ID and checking it out, because they've got so many templates that you can use for, Instagram stories and, highlights for Instagram, carousel stuff. So yeah, I definitely recommend. And you can get, if you've got Adobe Stock, you can then get your images from there and import them in. So yeah, it's definitely a great tool. So definitely check it out.
Yeah, it's super helpful. And like was mentioned yesterday, you can access it on desktop as well. It's not just on your phone, but super convenient to have it on your phone for on the go.
Yeah, definitely. And also you can just go straight to your Lightroom album from here. So I create a new post and go straight into Lightroom, and then it will pick up my albums. So I'll go into wildlife and it'll pick out the ones I've just edited. So for example, let's just go with this stag. And because I'm going to post on Instagram, I want it as an Instagram portrait 4x5. So I change the size. Automatically it gives you some text, a text field that you can edit, but I don't. I just delete that for now. We don't need that right now. And what I'm going to do is now I'm going to add another photograph. So go to images, go to Lightroom. Let's pick out, let's pick out the squirrel. You can have it so it moves freely in the picture. So if you were to do that, you could create a nice little Instagram post.
A little collage.
Yeah, a little collage on one particular post. But I am not doing that just yet. So I'm going to add it to collage. Click done, and then add images, go to Lightroom, and let's choose, let's go for the portrait and add to collage. So automatically it puts in what they think fits based on sort of like your picture basically. But you can, when you click done there, you can adjust it in the layout section. So it gives you all these different layouts that you could use. So some, you might see on Instagram, some people use that layout. So they'll have like adventure posts, or where they've been in the mountains, and they use like 3 different images. Short Stash, who I mentioned yesterday, Garrett King, he uses this style a lot in his photos, template, sorry. But for this particular one, I think I would go for that, or that, and move the portrait over there. I don't know. And you can pinch with your fingers out
and
to zoom. And then what you can do is, if you click done, hold on, and we'll go back to layout and go to border, you can actually add little borders, and you can unlock it by clicking the lock button there. So you can just adjust one particular element to it. And you can space your images right out, or don't have anything, but just so it separates them a bit. I might not have a border, I don't know. And the colour from the border is based on the main colour in your photograph. So if I go back to layout and go to colour, it gives you the suggested colours based on the colour that's used mostly in your photo. So you can choose, I think for this one, maybe black, maybe green. I might go for the browny colour. And that can be one post. So what you can do then is you can save that. So what you could do is, for example, have on your main grid, you could have a portrait of the deer, and then you could scroll through and have this, or you can, there's just loads of different, all these different layouts here. Sorry, not layouts. Yeah, layouts. Go to border, go to layout. There. You can just choose. I mean, you don't have to have 3 photographs. You can have 2. You can have as many as you want. If you keep scrolling, it gives you loads of different options based on how many photographs you want to add in that one particular collage. So you can, if I delete that, sorry, let's delete the squirrel and delete cell. And I don't like how that's looking, so I could have it side by side, but based on this image, that probably wouldn't work too much. but there's just so many options you can do with it. So what I might have in this top one is a chestnut, might have the forest below and the chestnut above. Let me come out of that and delete image.
So if you delete the cell, it's going to remove that whole block. But if you just delete the image, it'll leave the block and you can put a new image into it in that same configuration.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I do want to touch on is brand as well. So you can add your colours and your brand to it. So if you were to click on Brandify, it'll add your logo, it'll add your fonts, it will add your colours to it. Which is a great thing to do, especially if you're wanting to showcase your work in a portfolio and put your watermark on. That's a great way to do it on Brandify. But if I go back to images and go to Lightroom.
Yeah, and Spark is free to use on your phone or on your browser as well, Cody mentioned. Thank you for reminding us of that, Cody. Yeah. So it's just a really great tool to play around with.
I mean, you might
not so many different things.
Exactly, and you might not want a collage. So
yeah,
you might just. So let me go back. Let's start a fresh one. You might just want a photograph. So if I go to Lightroom. And go to wildlife and let's go for the deer again. Instagram portrait, because a lot of the time what I will do is on the front of if I'm doing a carousel post, I will put my main image on the front, and then when people swipe, they can see, like for example here I might just put I was trying to think off the top of my head, let's just put beautiful deer in Scotland. And then you can adjust the size, and if I drag that out, I might put that there or above. Probably go with there. And then the color, go to the color, text, probably go for white, I think.
It'll show up.
Yeah. Let's drag that out. And then usually I do like to just say, I don't know, by its panel. And again, go to size, drag that across. So there's lots of, I mean, there's probably you can add more text, you can add whatever you want. You can add quotes, you can add inspirational messages, you can just write what you see on the image. But yes, sometimes I write a quote and it might fit nicely with the photograph. Sometimes I actually write the location of it and the grid reference, and it's just adding a little bit of creativity to your photographs, really.
An additional element that you can play around with. And
and I notice as well, like text on images, especially on Instagram, seems to do that. People like it's a bit of a trend at the moment anyway. So it's so cool. This is how I create my carousel posts in here. I just, especially I'm trying to find, let's try and find some Instagram portrait, like landscapey ones.
Yeah, I feel like this one's perfect for a quote or something.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think if I was to do it. See here as well, they give you another layout. So you could do so here you can put a quote in. You could put so it could be like a cover of something. You could add a quote in there if you wanted to. It gives you a banner and you can add a quote in there, or it gives you all these different examples that you could use. But if I was doing like an autumnal scene, I might choose that one, and then for example in here, go to add images, go to Lightroom again, find another autumnal one that we edited. I don't know, let's go for this one just to break it up a bit. Collage. And then this, let's add Lightroom. Let's go edits. Let's find one that I think will match nicely. This one, let's see. That's probably a bit busy, to be fair. What you can do. So one thing I do like about this sometimes, especially, is the blur elements. If you go to looks, you've got all these different filters you can use over your photos if you want to. But use the blur effect, so you can blur out photographs. So sometimes I use this if I do want to add text, but you can't quite see it over the image. Sometimes I do it for Instagram stories as well. So if I've just put a new post up, the next story, I'll make a blurred post and write like, oh, come check out my latest post.
Yeah.
And it's all blurry underneath.
Oh, I want to see what it actually looks like. And then
they'll
go.
Yeah, because it's all blurry. So that's quite good. Exactly, yeah. So that, I don't know, I might just say add text. And then
that photo is just so pretty blurred too. I mean, it looks beautiful, not blurred, but when it's blurred, it looks like a watercolor painting or something.
Exactly. Right. Autumnal. Nice. Autumnal views. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't think of the word. Autumnal views.
It's because you're on camera. That's what happens.
I don't know. Autumnal photos in Scotland. It is what it is. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Okay, let's go to size.
If anyone has any questions for Rachel as we're going through and she's making these collages in Spark, feel free to ask questions about Lightroom Mobile or questions about Spark Mobile or questions about photography in general. Make sure to ask her while she's here.
Yeah, so I'm going to use my favorite font. I couldn't find it yesterday. There it is. And then I might add a border just to break it up. Actually, let's not have it. Oh no, let's have it on there. There we go. That's better. Oops, keep doing that. It's just to break it up a little bit. I think I quite liked the blue actually. I don't know. And then you can obviously change the blue if you're not too keen on the colours. You can actually click into the little slidey tools
and make adjustments.
Yeah. There's loads of designs that you can use. Again, loads of templates. There's just so much to offer in this app.
Yeah, I know. You can get lost in it for so long. Well, and if you go to animation, you can animate the text. Is that right?
Yes.
I've only used it on desktop. I've never used it on mobile, but that's one of my favorite things on desktop is to be able to create little videos with text super, super quickly.
Yeah, definitely. Let's try it. So let's try typewriter. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Oh, that's so fun for a post or a story, and to really catch people's attention.
Exactly, definitely. So it can. That's so. If you're going to have it as a story, you think actually no, I do want it as a story. You can just go to resize and then go Instagram story, and then adjust.
That's so helpful. Yeah.
And then click play and say, "What's my photos in Scotland?" Oh, yeah, it's really cool.
Beautiful. Hi, Fergie. Thank you for joining us. If anyone is just joining, we are here with Rachel Hanna. She is a wildlife, outdoors lifestyle photographer, and she edits everything on her phone. So she's showing us how she edits in Lightroom Mobile today. And then right now we're in Spark Mobile. She's making some collages, some series, showing us how we can add to our images in Spark. And so you have questions, feel free to ask. If you're watching on YouTube, come over to behance.net/live so that we can see your chat and see your questions and make sure that we answer them. And yeah, we're having fun. So thank you for being here.
Cool.
Yeah, so, Cody says typewriter animation works so well with the autumn photos.
Yeah,
too.
It does.
It's so fun.
It really does. Yeah, it's something that I need to use more of actually for stories.
Yeah.
So I'm going to now edit the Glenfinnan Viaduct series because I think this is my favourite and I love editing these photos. So we can make a little series out of these.
The curved shapes.
Yeah, and this goes back to while I was there. Obviously, the reason why I went there was for this particular photo because obviously it's known as like the Harry Potter Express, and this viaduct was like an inspiration in the film when they use a flying car.
Yes.
So yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, and while I'm there, obviously this is just behind the viaduct. Like this view is just like amazing. All the mountains around you, and then you've got. I did take my drone up actually, and get a shot of just a normal train. You just see the normal train.
Not as exciting, but the shape is beautiful of the track from that direction. I just love the smoke from the other train. Is so cool.
Yeah, sometimes like they don't release it in time, but yeah, he did. This particular time he released it right at the right moment, so the steam was able to sort of curve around the viaduct.
Wow.
So yeah, that's cool. But yeah, this was a woodland that I walked through to get to the viaduct. Obviously that, as I mentioned, that was behind it, and then taking photographs of the viaduct itself.
Wow.
This was like a really cute little house, and this was like a little bridge around the area. So yeah, it's just capturing what's around you as well to tell a little bit more of a story rather than just, I went there and got that one shot.
Yeah, it's kind of setting the scene of everything that's there.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this one then. So this is quite, so as you can see, like sort of the mountain and everything's quite orangey anyway. So like putting autumn golds over it, just wow.
Wow. It looks like it's on fire.
The sun is out there.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna have to really drop this down a bit, and obviously the exposure right down. I'm gonna go into the oranges and just really drop those hues and drop the yellows.
Fergie says, hi from London. Nice to see more UK creatives on live.
Oh, hello. Hi, Fergie.
And Cody says, now I want to watch Harry Potter. I know. I've been rewatching them. I have 2 left. But I feel like this is the time of year to watch them for some reason. When it's like cold and cozy, it just makes me want to watch Harry Potter.
Yeah, it tends to be in the UK when it gets, close to Christmas, that they really ramp up the Harry Potter stuff so that they start. My favourite, and a lot of people I speak to disagree with me on this, but my favourite is the first one. I just think it's so happy. I find it so
it's
happy.
It's like a sweet, it's more sweet than some of the other ones. They get more dark as they go along.
Yeah, I just love little Harry and Ron, getting on the train and going to Hogwarts. It's
making their friends. Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice.
It's a good one for sure.
So I'm just going to pop in a little bit, and then I need to do a little bit of healing tool down here. Oops, because it's a popular spot, and you're subject to a lot of heads in your photo.
Yeah. Cody says my favorite is the first one too.
Oh, good.
It's a good one. Yeah, I think mine's the third one. I really like the third one.
Yeah, I think after the third one, they do tend to go a little bit more on sort of, a darker route. But
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Nope, I might just pop in just a tad more. Okay, and do the linear gradient from the bottom, and obviously there's some light coming from the side of the image, so I might just try and enhance that a little bit. Darken actually a bit more.
Creative Christy is asking, what phone and app are you using? So you're using an iPhone. And
yes. So the phone I'm using is an iPhone 11 Pro, but I've used this on like iPhone 8 and yeah, Lightroom Mobile.
Lightroom Mobile, yeah. Yep.
I forget sometimes I'm on camera and I can see my fingers like
going back and forth, testing.
Yeah, because I do. I literally, this is how I edit. It's just literally just like this all the time. Going, nope, don't like that, too green. Nope, that's too orange.
Then just right, yeah.
And then just right, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you don't know until you see it, and then yeah, you can make that decision kind of intuitively once you see what it looks like when you add green. Or
I mean,
whatever you're doing.
This particular photo I've edited so many times in so many different ways. So, but every edit I sort of do, I say, oh, that's all right edit.
Yeah.
I would tend to use winter brown, so with this one. So if I did winter brown, I know it's a bit harsh, but then I'd go in and soften it, and then obviously winter green, look, it makes everything green.
Yeah, it changes it so much.
Yeah.
Cody's asking, what camera was this photo shot on?
So this was a Sony A7 II.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've had a Canon 80D, Sony A7 II, and now I'm on the A7 III.
Nice.
Okay, let's go. What's this one?
Cartier's asking, have you ever tried combining images so it looks seamless on the swipe on Instagram? You know, when it's like you can swipe and it's kind of all the same image. Have you ever done that?
Yeah. So I've not tried it in Adobe Spark actually, but there's another app that I've done that you can just sort of like put them together. But I know you can do it in Photoshop. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just use this other app. But yeah, I've definitely used it in a carousel and stuff.
Yeah. Mervyn says, nice work, Rachel.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, too many blues in this one. I found the Highlands in Scotland really, really difficult sometimes to edit in like autumn because everywhere is so orange anyway.
Yeah.
But that should make it easier. But I found it a bit more difficult, to be honest.
Creative Christy says, guess what I just installed? I'm guessing Lightroom Mobile.
Yay. You'll be addicted soon.
You're being just inspired. Like yes.
Yeah, I just find it so much easier because I'm on my laptop all day, every day, with work and stuff. And in an evening, I find myself sat on my phone just scrolling. And instead of scrolling, I may as well just be doing my work.
Being productive,
being productive. And so Lightroom Mobile is really convenient in that way. So I'm going to be sat on my phone anyway. I may as well do something that I enjoy and is productive at the same time.
Yes, absolutely. Cody just dropped Rachel's Instagram into the chat. It's Rachel Hannah. It's her handle. So make sure you go follow her. And you can click through the link in bio if you want to look at her presets that she has for sale, see more of her work, and just keep learning from her even after the stream. So make sure to check that out.
So I've gone to the woodland that I walked through to the viaduct, and actually I think Awesome Golds fits really well with that.
It makes those trees so pretty.
It makes them pop, doesn't it? So I'm just going to drop the clarity of it again, because I also sometimes find with trees, when I do drop the clarity and it makes it look more dreamy, as we said yesterday, it also enhances the colour of them a bit more as well.
Yeah.
So it softens it
Oh, Greg is asking, what about wildlife draws you to that subject? Are there other subjects that you've tried and enjoyed or not enjoyed as well?
So what about the wildlife?
Yeah, like why do you like shooting wildlife?
Well, it's mainly because it's what I do as a job. So I do work for a wildlife charity as my job. So naturally, you know, it's my passion and it's what I love doing anyway. So when I go out, you know, I've got a camera and then I can get up close and personal and just, take photographs of them. And it's just being amongst nature and wildlife. It makes you feel happy. It makes you feel good. It releases all the happy feelings inside. And you know, I get lots of squirrels in my garden, so I find myself spending a lot of time out there, taking photographs of them and getting low and getting that shot. And when you do, you get this like real fuzzy feeling inside. But it just helps, like, you know, loving wildlife and nature anyway. I have shot like people, like family shoots, and if anyone wants any photographs out, you know, my family like to do like pumpkin picking, so we go out and we do like a family shoot of like pumpkins and stuff. But yeah, I think wildlife and nature and the outdoors is my is my sort of like love, really.
So you're shooting what you love.
Exactly.
And that is always inspiring.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, this is, oh, there we go, that's what I was wanting for.
Mervyn asked, Rachel, do you also do photo manipulation? I mean, adding objects from other images into one. So do you ever composite images together?
So no, I don't really, but there was one particular photo that I mentioned yesterday, the autumn trees. If I just find it again, where has it gone? It was this one, actually.
Yes.
What I did is I found some leaf overlays online, and I went into Photoshop and sort of added the leaves, the like orangey leaves that were falling, so it looked like the leaves were falling basically. But yeah, that's the only really sort of manipulation I've done, other than, you know, editing it, so like changing, you know, using the color mix to change the color of the leaves and stuff like that. But not as
much like combining or compositing.
Yeah, so that's probably the only time I've really done it, is to sort of like add snow, like a snow overlay or a leaf overlay. But yeah, that's it really. I have tried it in the past and I had a lot of fun doing it, but I just didn't have the time. I couldn't find the time to really sit and do it. But yeah, it's mainly just sort of leaf stuff and snowy scenes.
Joe says, "Hey Rachel, greetings from Holland. Great photos."
Oh, hello. That's my auntie. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for watching.
Bless her.
Cartier says, "Do you sell stock photography?"
No, I don't. No. Again, it's something I've thought of doing in the past, you know, uploading to maybe Adobe Spark or whatever. But no, it's never really something that I've really thought about, but you never know in the future. I have a drone and I like to go out with my drone and get lots of, like, you know, stock video and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know, maybe it might be something that I look into next year.
It could be a nice little source of extra income. Do you sell prints?
I do, yeah. So
yes, I think I saw that on your site.
Yes, if you go onto the link in bio, my website, I think it says prints and presets. But I haven't updated that actually for a while. I shouldn't say that, but I haven't. So if there's an image that people wanted, then, you know, feel free to message me, because it might not be on the website, because I teamed up with this sort of carbon neutral printing company. Cool. So it's really good for the environment, and they were great. So if I just put the order in with them and then everything's done, it's sort of like all environmental friendly. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. Got to protect the planet.
Yes. I love how you frame your photos. I feel like a lot of your images have that kind of like something in the foreground that is really soft, and it just like, it's so beautiful. It creates such a pretty frame.
I've noticed that myself. I seem to be drawn to like trees or bushes.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I think it makes the photos so interesting.
Well, that's it, because a lot of this viaduct is captured a lot of the time. So it's when I go to these places, I think, I see it all the time on Instagram. So how can I stand out from everybody else's photographs? And obviously, you know, with Instagram, you do want an element of like, you want your photograph to be picked up by, you know, different accounts, because then it gives you more exposure. And that's why that's why you're on Instagram. You want exposure of your work. So you've got to try, you know, because there's so many photographs on Instagram these days, you've got to try and stand out from the crowd a little bit. So it is doing something different. And it might be, you know, crawling along the floor in a bush, trying to get that different photo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, I might copy these settings, which you can do in Lightroom Mobile, which is amazing. So the settings that I've just done there, if I go to the three dots in the corner and then copy settings, you can choose here what settings you'd like to carry over into the next photograph. So the tools, maybe not so much, because every photograph is different, which will probably require different tools. So as long as you've got like light and color and stuff, you can just go ahead and go to the next photo, click the three dots, and then paste. Now, it doesn't fit very well with this photograph. I don't like how it's come out in this. So I then just can edit. I can just adjust ever so slightly, but the basics are there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's got all my curve tool and stuff.
In about 30 minutes, we're going to have an artist spotlight. And if you're interested in submitting yourself or someone else to be featured in a future artist spotlight, you can click the tab directly above the chat. It says artist spotlight, and you can fill out the form there to nominate yourself or nominate someone else for a future feature.
There's a really cute house here. And actually, when I posted this photograph a couple of years ago, the guy actually wanted to get in touch with me and purchase a print of, because he could see his house, and I could never find him again. I don't know. I know I couldn't find him, and for some reason the comment had gone. I thought, so he lived there in that gorgeous house.
How cute! Wow,
with that amazing view. So jealous.
What a lucky man! Yeah.
Yeah.
Marvin is asking, any tips and tricks to just get better at photography?
So I would say you've definitely got to just keep shooting anything and everything. That's the only advice I can truly give. Is that's how I learned. I literally was just photographing anything and everything, whacking it into Lightroom. I mean, you know, I've got quite a lot of photographs in Lightroom that I can't show you guys because it's probably horrendous. It's like photographs of anything, but literally I would just get my camera, I'd go for a walk. And one thing I would say is what I've mentioned before is just focus on the details of things. So when you do go for a walk, especially during, autumn, go, get on the floor and take photographs of the details of the leaves and stuff, and then take it into Lightroom and then start editing it. And that's just how you learn, just by keep doing and just keep doing and just keep doing. There's also YouTube. You can go on YouTube and find out how the camera works and how you can use your camera better. And, if you've got a favorite photographer, then, search for them and find out how they edit. It's just, research and doing, and just taking photographs of everything. I mean, I've been doing it properly now for about 5 years. It's only at this point now where I feel comfortable enough. So that's how long it can take. And this is me just like doing it every day. Do enough. So just keep shooting anything and everything, getting it into Lightroom Mobile and just editing it. And then naturally you'll begin to find your own like photography eye, which now basically I can see a photograph in anything. So anything can be a photograph. Whereas before I could never see anything like that. Especially with framing, because I do a lot of framing. If there's a tree overlapping something, I think, oh, that looks like a nice framing for that particular building. Whereas I would never have noticed that before. It just comes with practice.
Absolutely. The more you shoot, the better you'll get, and that's really the best way to learn, is just by doing it and doing it and doing it. And it's not putting too much pressure on yourself either. Like if you're just starting out, it's fine, go and take loads of photographs of everything. If you're not
to you, they're great, and that's all that matters. You need to remember as well, like, photographs that you take, you don't take photographs for other photographers. You take them for you. And that's one thing to remember, is you take them photographs for yourself only, because you like that picture and you like that edit. It's obviously different if you're doing it for a client, because they might like a certain style, but if you're doing it as a hobby, which is mostly what I do it for, I take photographs for me, and that's really important. So that's always good to remember.
Yeah, for sure.
Oof, no. No. Too much. No, I don't like that.
So you just hit the undo button right at the very top.
Yeah.
Is that how you undid that?
Yeah.
There you go.
And then if you think, oh no, I've undone something, and I want to go back, you can just slide your finger down, and then it'll redo it.
Nice. Super helpful. Bruce says, love how you're depth obsessed. By the way, truly amazing captures. Have you ever tried the Make Photo Album feature in Lightroom Classic or in general?
No, I haven't actually. No, it's not something I've tried before. No, but I'll definitely look into it after I've done these sessions. It's all about learning, isn't it? So
absolutely,
people tell me things in the comments, and then I can take it back and go and learn.
Go play around with it.
Yeah, exactly. No, I haven't done that, so I will be keen to try that.
Mervyn asked, I'm more interested in macro photography. Do you know of a good budget lens to use for macro shots? Do you ever shoot macro?
Yes. So with my Sony, so during the very first lockdown, COVID lockdown, and we were all told to stay in and we can't go out, and I was thinking, oh no, what am I going to do? Like, I can't go out and take photos. What am I going to do? So I went on a site where you can trade in lenses and you can buy used lenses. And I bought one. I mean, it's expensive, but it was for £700 used, and it was the Sony 90mm lens, and that can be used for portraits. It's quite a diverse lens actually, and I do take it out quite a lot because it's super sharp. Because it's a prime lens, it's really, really, really sharp. So it can be used for portraits, it can be used just general really, but I used it for a lot for macro in the garden. So I was trying to find insects in the garden, and there was a bee buzzing round, and then they're just running after a bee waiting for it to land on a leaf so I can really use the lens. It was funny, but that's the sort of macro lens that I use. I'm sure there's plenty of other budget ones out there. I'm part of photography groups on Facebook where people ask them questions, and loads of people reply with their sort of advice. So I definitely recommend using, joining groups like that. But I use the 90mm, and it's fantastic. I use it for everything. I don't just use it for macro, which is really good for.
But you can use it for other things as well.
Buying
used is a good idea too, because especially if you're not 100% sure that you're going to use it all the time, or you're kind of just testing it out, you can buy something used and then
because I think the lens, I'm sure it was over £1,000 initially, and I looked at it, I was like, no, I'm gonna have to save up for quite a while for this. And then I kept looking on the a camera website where they sell used ones, and then one came up and it was in good condition. So I mean, there is a tryout period as well on a lot of these sites, so if you're not keen on it, you can send it back, or you can hire lenses as well. I've never tried this, but I believe you can hire lenses from places and test them out first.
Yeah. A lot of times, I think there's online sites too, but I know we have a local camera store here where we can go and rent a lens for a day or a week or something like that, which is always great I always recommend that for any expensive equipment. If you're going to buy lights or you're going to buy whatever, test it out first and make sure you like that brand and that particular item, and that you'll actually use it. It's much more 100%. Affordable that way. Cody says, macro photography is so fun. Mervyn says, I keep clicking insects at home.
It was so funny during lockdown because we had a really, really hot spring as well last year, and it was loads of insects buzzing around everywhere, and I was just following them, just stay on that leaf for a minute.
Not very cooperative models.
No. I ended up photographing a lot of hoverflies because obviously they hover a lot. So I've got a bit of time, a bit of time
before they
to
hover away. Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. Let's just edit this one. Oh.
So pretty. I love the curve of the track and like going through.
Oops. Yeah,
cutting
it's
through the
stunning,
image.
isn't it?
It's so pretty.
I just wish at that point I'd had the drone in the air as the Hogwarts Express train was going past with the smoke, but I can't do two things at once. I couldn't hold the drone and try and take the picture I wanted at the same time. So
that's all right.
I had to sacrifice.
The one you got of this theme is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
worth the sacrifice.
Hues. Right, it's too greeny for me. So let's try and get rid of some of that green.
Mervyn says, your photo composition is amazing. You've inspired me to start photography again.
Oh, that's so kind.
I love that.
Oh, that's lovely. That's really nice. Well, I'm glad I've inspired you.
Yes.
That's really warming because that's what it's about, really. You know, if you can inspire others to do stuff like this, you know, because this makes me happy. So if you can inspire others to do it, then yeah,
absolutely.
that's really nice. You'll have to follow me if you've got Instagram. You'll have to follow me on Instagram and tag me in some of your photographs so I can see.
Yes. It's Rachel Hannah is Rachel's Instagram handle.
Yes, it was very bright before, and just sort of creative because it was early morning. I think it was about 9:30 in the morning, something like that, and the sun was just sort of peeking over the top of the mountain. So I wanted to try and create that little bit of shadowing down here because the sun was peeking up here.
There.
Yeah, so that's quite good. Let's put a bit of a vignette in. Okay, I'm happy with that, I think.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's a bit there. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, let's move on to this one because I'm just I have to be conscious of time.
You get lost in it for hours and hours.
I know, and I do want to put these into Spark. So
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Autumn Pinecone. Let's try this one. Okay, that's all right. I think I can work with that one. I'm not keen on a lot of the branches, so I'm just gonna I might just crop it a bit as if I was to use it for Instagram, and just zoom in a little bit like that, and then it's the selective tool from the bottom. I think a delivery guy has just come to the door. Oh no, you'll have to wait. We are very busy right now doing important things. Right, let's just... No, actually, I'm not going to expose that. No. I'm just going to check the curve. That I'm okay with the curve. Those trees look like they're a little bit on fire. You don't want fiery trees.
No.
the elements. Yeah, let's just drop the elements down a little bit.
Andrew's here. He says, hey friends, looks like we're going mobile. Yes. Lightroom mobile, and then we'll be on Adobe Spark on mobile a little bit too.
Yeah.
So
I'm
fun.
I'll take these photographs into Adobe Spark in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to soften them off a bit.
Wow, it's crazy the difference. I love that you can just see the before and after so easily too, just by holding it down.
Yeah, literally just holding the finger down and then lifting it off. Cool.
Beautiful.
Yeah, let's just do one more. Let's just copy these settings over and see. Let's just see what this does.
So that little button in the very top right is how you copy.
Yeah.
Click that, and then you can copy and paste. Or you could create a preset from the edits that you made, like you showed yesterday too.
Yeah, exactly. So if I went back to there and I was like, okay, I like the colors of this and how I edited this. So you can click the three dots in the corner, go down to create preset, choose a preset group that you want it to go under. So for example, mine will be Rachel Hannah presets. And then in here, you just name it something. So I'll just say Autumn Color 2. Really original. And then you can choose what tools that you want to take over in the preset. So I'll just keep light, color, effects, and detail because they're the main elements. So then I hit OK. And there, that's as easy as that. Your preset's created. So if I go over to there, let's just reset this. To adjustments, and then I go to my presets, and there we go, Autumn Color 2. There we go.
So easy.
So easy. I mean, yeah, for this photograph, it just looks a little bit too red. So then you know, not every preset. Adjust.
Yeah. I feel like most of the time presets have to be adjusted. It's kind of rare that you just slap it on and then it's perfect right from the get-go. You kind of have to adjust it for that particular image, but it's a great starting point and saves you a lot of time.
Exactly. If you like the style of someone's work, it's a good starting point. Definitely as like a base.
Yes, absolutely. Mervin's asking, how can we give the photo as a movie photo effect without using plugins? Mervin, do you mean like make it look kind of cinematic? Is that where you're going with that question? If you want to clarify that a little bit, I'd love to answer.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That's what I'm guessing, but I just want to make sure. And then, yes, Rachel's Instagram, it's Rachel Hannah, if you want to go follow. And if you click the link on her bio, you can get access to her presets that she sells if you want to kind of use those as a starting point for your own images.
Okay. So I'm so happy with those. Let's go into Adobe Spark.
Yeah, Mervin was asking about making an image look kind of cinematic without using plugins. I feel like kind of what you've been doing from the very beginning. A lot of your images I feel like look pretty cinematic. So just kind of making those adjustments, making it look more matte as you were doing kind of in the beginning.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think you're right. It's definitely the matte element, which, you know, that comes in like on the curve as well. Yeah. So, you know, with this tool here along the bottom, so you see that, you know, the shadows become very matte-like and lifts them a bit. That's where I get a lot of the matte look from. Yeah. And also on the effects on the clarity tool, I do, like as I mentioned before, especially if there's a lot of trees and leaves and stuff, I always tend to just drop the clarity so it gives that softer feel. Yeah. And then, you know, editing the selective tool and, you know, creating your own sort of shadowing. Yeah.
You could probably bring some grain in too if you wanted to go like really cinematic. You could add a little bit of green or like an older film effect if you wanted to really push it to like super old school cinematic. But I feel like adding that matte matte look and kind of
so the grain bar is there, and then
it.
You can adjust them. You can't quite see it on this, but you can add grain, and then you can choose the size of the grain and the roughness of the grain. So if I really whack it up, you can sort of see that you can see that grain effect. But I found with the grain sometimes it can take away the sharpness of an image.
Absolutely, yeah.
If you just add in a touch of grain, it's in effects.
Yeah. So that's a way. And Rachel showed a lot more of that process, kind of starting without using any presets yesterday. So you can watch the replay of that if you want to kind of see a little bit more of that whole process.
Yeah. I'm just going to delete that one.
So now we're in Adobe Spark mobile.
Yeah. And with Adobe Spark, you can create all sorts from different templates. We've just made a few here. One, can be part as a carousel post, and this one I would probably use that within a carousel post if I was doing an autumnal series. I would probably start with that at the front, because some of my images do have text on them, not all of them. But I think that's all right to go as a first image, and then you can scroll to the chestnut and the leaves and everything else, the bridge and stuff. So, and the popcorn trees, as we were saying yesterday. So let's try and do a Glenfinnan one. I've got 10 minutes, haven't I? Yes, you do,
and you'll have a few minutes after the feature as well. Bruce is asking, Rachel, do you have any photographers that inspire you?
Yeah, so the artist spotlight, obviously this girl that you'll see, she inspires me. There's also Garrett King, short stash. He inspires a lot of me through storytelling. So definitely go and check out his work, because when I say about series and carousel posts, he is the inspiration about that. So when he goes places, he just he takes photos of all sorts and creates a real story with his photos. So they're sort of like and he has sort of like a cinematic sort of like matte look. So they're sort of like my inspirations.
Cool, thank you for sharing.
So where do we choose?
Hi, Fairy. If anyone is just joining, Rachel is here. She is a wildlife and outdoors lifestyle photographer with beautiful work. And she was showing us earlier how she edits on Lightroom Mobile, and now she's in Spark Mobile, showing us how she puts together a series. So really fun. Yes, and if you're watching on YouTube, hop over to Behance so that we can see your chat and your questions and say hello to you. So behance.net/live. We would love to see you over here so we can answer any questions that you have.
I wanted to go into Lightroom, not there, Lightroom. Let's go to Glenfinnan Viaduct, and let's choose. I don't know. Let's choose one.
So hard when they're all so beautiful.
I always find it hard to I'll be playing around for hours trying to choose a photo to go with it, and then layout. Let's just choose this sort of layout for now, and replace that with. Let's go for that one.
Fairy asks, how do you find a location to photograph?
Mainly through Instagram and Google Maps. A lot of the time I will just go on Instagram, or I'll do a search of top places to see in wherever I'm going. And also, books as well, like photography books, and they show like where you can go. But on Google Maps, then what I do is once I've found a place, I'll go on Google Maps, and then I'll find that little saved pin, and then just like pin out all these places that I want to go, and then just head off to them really. But it's mainly through Instagram, books, and the internet, just searching like top places to photograph in Scotland or Wales or wherever I'm going.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of the inspiration is off, Instagram, and then a challenge is then to, right, okay, I'm going to go to that place, and how am I going to photograph that different than everybody else?
Yes. How am I going to stand out and show my own perspective and create my own work that's unique?
Yeah.
He says, I heard that you use a Sony A7 too. Sony team. I use a Sony A6 6000. Yeah.
Definitely. I was on a Canon for a couple of years and I absolutely loved it, but it was just a bit too heavy for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I ended up just getting the A7 II, and then I needed something with a bit more power and stuff, so I got the A7 III. Then I got myself a drone, so that just opens up a whole new world of
yeah, really a new perspective.
Yeah.
And that's the name of the location, right?
Yes, Glenfern and Vidal, yeah. So then I might go behind this photo, go on looks. I know it's like the main photo, but you always want to keep people guessing.
Barry asked, do you use a kit lens for your camera? If not, what lens do you use?
Yeah, I do. So I use the kit lens that comes with the A7 III.
Yeah.
Some of the people I speak to think I'm crazy because they don't like the kit lens. They say, no, don't go with the kit lens. But I think, why not? Like, why, if I'm not going to print my work as such, then why not?
Yeah.
And also, you're saving a bit of money. I do use a Sigma 100 to 400 millimeter lens for the wildlife stuff, obviously, because you need to be a bit more further away, and obviously the wildlife is probably a lot further away, so you need something to zoom in a bit more. I also have the 90 millimeter macro lens, which if I'm doing any portraits, then I'll take with me, and if taking photographs of my dog or whatever, then I'll, because it's sharper, because it's a prime lens. But they're the three main lenses that I use. But it's, I am sort of saving up for 24 to 70, I think it is. But yeah, because I think that is a bit sharper, but yeah. It's just mainly the kit lens. So just head out there with the kit lens and then bring it into Lightroom.
Yes, yeah.
And edit. Just simple. Just really simple. Keep it simple.
Barry says, awesome. I love my kit lens, especially for wide angle and street.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what wide angle you have on the kit lens. You have the 24, the 28 to 70, I think it is, the kit lens, if you have the A7 III.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm happy with that one, actually. And again, if we do the animation on this.
I love that you can add animations so easily.
Let's see what this. Oh no!
Especially since Instagram wants video these days.
Yeah, I think we go with the typewriter. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very fitting.
Yeah. Cool. So we've got like a Glenfern and Viaduct one. That one could be your main. It could also be, if I go on to edit again, it could also be, if you resize it, you can also have it as an Instagram story. You could have it as a square if you like the square version, but yeah, Instagram portrait. And then what I would do, that would be like the main. So what I could do is, my phone keeps dropping and I have to keep going allow. What I could do is use this as the front main image on the grid, and then when people swipe, then they've got the images in full portrait, so they've got that nice autumnal forest, and they've got the train, and then they've got the mountain view of the boat, and they can actually see them in full, but it's kind of like a bit of a teaser.
Yeah, kind of like, here's what's coming, and then you start to see all of the images. Yeah,
definitely. I might just add in there actually Scotland, because that's where it was. Or you could put Scotland series.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they'll want to swipe through and see the rest of the series.
Exactly.
Kind of draws them in.
Yeah, there you go.
Beautiful.
Oh, stop dropping out. There we go. Yeah, so we've got a few there.
I love that. Well, I feel like this is a perfect time to hop over and do our artist spotlight, and then stick around because we'll be back for a few minutes at the very end with Rachel to show some more of her work and kind of finish out that series. So definitely stick around. And but for now, we're going to hop over to an artist spotlight. And if you want to be featured in an upcoming artist spotlight, or if you have someone else that you want to nominate, you can hit that little artist spotlight tab at the very top of the chat and submit yourself or someone else there. But for now, we're going to look at another wildlife photographer named Rachel, which I just think is so fun. So this is Rachel Bigsby, and her handle is right there, rachel.wildlife photo and film. If you want to go give her a follow, I'm sure we'll link that in the chat as well. But let's just take a look at some of these images, and so beautiful. Okay, I also love that she's also a wildlife photographer, but her style is so different from yours. So it's kind of cool to see the contrast of your style, which is like very dreamy and kind of moody, and hers, which is like stark, white, bright, especially in like these first images. So it's kind of fun to have that like contrast and see like how different people see wildlife, see the same subject, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Rachel was a huge inspiration behind like me getting into sort of wildlife photography and really focusing in on the subjects, because I mean that's
beautiful.
I went to an island called Squirrel Island in Wales this year, which is all about, you know, people mainly go there because of puffins, and it was her photographs that were like, I need to get to that island and get some of these photographs. I mean, the detail, and
look at this light on the fur right here, or the feathers, or what a puffins have feathers.
They're also they're really small puffins. I thought they were a lot bigger, and they're actually only
looks big
tiny.
Here. Yeah,
no, they're tiny, and they're really cheeky, and they've got attitudes, and it's just they're really cute.
Oh, so cute.
They're like paintings. Her
detail,
work.
It really is. This detail is incredible. It's so beautiful. And the little sparkle in the eye.
Yeah, it's got the little sparkle. Yeah, she really captures wildlife and photography so well, and you know, she's really, really, really passionate about, you know, wildlife and nature and protecting the environment and stuff. And it's just it really shows in her work.
Yeah, it really does. There's a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
Wow. I like that she has the cropped in, and then when you slide, you can see the full image.
Yes, I do as well. So like you can really, you know, it fits the grid well, and you can really see the detail, but then you can swipe to the next one, you get the full.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's very painting-esque, and like you could just put that on a wall and it would just fit in any room.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just the wildlife that she captures as well. Like that is, I find that amazing, just capturing the bird in that particular shot at that moment.
Yes.
I find amazing, because I've tried to do similar stuff. It just doesn't work.
Well, you just have to be ready at that moment, you know, and waiting and ready and capture it right then, because you can't tell the bird, oh, do this again for me, you know?
Exactly.
Oh. There we go.
Oh, yeah, that's stunning.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So majestic.
Oh, so beautiful.
Guy.
I know, look at his little face.
So sweet.
His little face.
He looks so happy, so pleased with himself.
I mean, that's a dream. I'd love to be able to go and sit with some sort of grey seals and stuff for a little while and just capture, because they've got such cheeky personalities.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Yeah, Fairy says, wildlife is way harder than people think, especially nailing the focus. which is so true. Bruce says,
yeah, you've got to have
exquisite.
a high shutter speed.
Yes, yeah, and just be very patient. You just have to wait for the right moment.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this is so cool. Bruce says, how can you not be inspired?
Oh.
So true. Look at these little guys perching in their little nest.
Yeah, the thing with wildlife photography is patience. You've got to have a lot of patience for it to be able to just sit there. I mean, I can literally sit in the garden for hours and just wait for a moment of when a bird, decides it wants to come to eat something, and I can get a photograph of it. But for landscape photography, obviously it's a bit different because the landscape isn't really going anywhere.
Yes. Yeah.
So you've got time to walk around and get your composition right and choose, the right lighting, or wait for that, whereas with wildlife, it's you can't ask wildlife to go and stand on that perch and just pose for a moment. It is really a different level of patience and skill.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bless her.
I know.
I just love her. I just love her puffin shots, and the bird shots. They're just amazing.
Yeah, they really, really
and
are.
I think I'm not sure what lens that she uses, but she must have a really cool super lens to be able to zoom in. I mean, that is definitely, that's so silhouette, and I'd be interested to see how she edits her photographs, actually.
I know, we should get her on a live sometime so we can all see for sure,
because that looks like it's poking out of a cloud.
I know, so I'm guessing that she must have erased the background, unless it's in snow and it's, but I feel like there has to be.
It's very dreamy, isn't it? It's like it's just poking its head out.
I feel like it's just kind of erased all around to kind of really bring the focus to those birds. But it would be cool to see how she does that. It's beautiful. Yeah, so make sure to go follow her, Rachel.wildlife photo and film. And then, as we mentioned, feel free to submit yourself or someone else to be featured on a future artist spotlight. And we can jump back in and finish up with our other Rachel for a little bit, have a little bit longer.
Yeah, so the last sort of little photographs I wanted to sort of put into a little series was lighthouses, because again, I've visited a number of different lighthouses, and putting that into a series, like a lighthouse series. Again, it's not all in the same spot, it's loads of different locations, and you can create little series of a lighthouse. So I did put a few into a folder that we could use.
So pretty.
This particular one, this is only around the corner from me, and the sun sets behind it. It's absolutely beautiful, and obviously the reflections in the water.
Yes, it's gorgeous. Oh, I love that too. The pink.
This one is one of my mum's and family's favourites. It's a Talaka. It's at Talaka Beach, and it's only about an hour away from where we are. And it's a very picturesque lighthouse. And I think here recently it had, I don't know if it had a full paint, but it gets quite obviously wet because it's a lighthouse. It gets battered, and the paint falls off. So I think it had recently been had a bit more paint put to it. So
had a little really makeover.
Stands out. Yeah, and again, that's it. Sort of silhouette, sort of right time, right place with the bird. So and this one was south of Wales on the coast, and I actually flew my drone over to this one.
Wow,
I'm always a bit wary of flying my drone over the sea, because I've heard a lot of bad stories from that, but fortunately it wasn't too bad that day. So I was able to
made it back.
So and this one was a little lighthouse on an island in Anglesey near Wales, and the island sort of like gets cut off from the main island for a couple of hours, so you can just be on this little island just mooching around for a bit, because you're cut off and you got to wait. So it's a good time to take photographs. And this is Stack Lighthouse, which is also in Anglesey, and this during puffin season is apparently absolutely full of those puffins.
Oh wow.
Yeah, absolutely, all on the rocks down here. Apparently it's full of them, so I'll have to go there next year.
Yes, for sure.
And try and get some photographs.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, let's go into Spark then.
Ron was asking if you have to pay for Adobe Spark, and you don't. It's free. There's some features like the branding that is you do need to pay for, but you can start playing around with it for free. And then if you want to access those features, you can get an Adobe subscription.
I've just seen the comment from Bruce.
Yes. If you're dressing camo.
I really have thought about it, because obviously if you are wanting to get a photograph of a deer, for example,
yes.
or a red squirrel, it's handy to maybe put some camouflage clothing on so you can just crawl up and get a photograph. I follow a few wildlife photographers that do that, and they're all there in like their camo gear.
Yes.
But they always get the photographs. They get stunning photographs of owls and everything.
They're dedicated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's definitely something I've thought of, and also you can buy like little bird hides that you can sit in. Mm-hmm. So who knows? Maybe really next year. Yeah. Maybe next year. Maybe it could be a Christmas present. Buy me some camo gear. Right, lighthouses.
Funny.
Okay, so let's go with this one because I like to start with. So instead of adding the photos together, I might, with this one, just add, this is one I've recently just posted actually, but I might, put a quote here. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but Sunset Lighthouse. I might just put some wording over instead. Let's find the font that I like, because I've got so many fonts.
Yeah,
so many fonts to choose from.
Yeah,
and you can add your own, can't you?
You can add your own. Mm-hmm. I think that is a paid feature. But you can add. Like if you have a font that you use in your branding, you can add that and then easily apply it when you tell it to apply your brand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's loads of really cool fonts. But I always go with one called Playfair, and I can never find it. There it is. Oops. Actually, I might just change this one. Say Sunset by the Sea.
Oh, Fairy says, I don't have lighthouses in my area.
Oh.
Maybe on a future vacation you can
yes,
see
definitely.
some lighthouses.
Definitely. Yeah, they are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking, should we have some animation to this? Because we like the typewriter, don't we? I think we've established we like the typewriter one. So what I might do with this is I might have this one as the first shot, and then the next ones can be, the series of the lighthouses that I've got, because they're all by the sea. So yeah, there's that element. You can do that. So let me just click done on that. Or we can. Oops, not in Glenfinnan anymore. We are in lighthouses.
Mm-hmm. We have just a little bit of time left with Rachel. So if you have any last questions you want to ask her, make sure to ask them now so that we have time to get to them before we have to say goodbye.
So you can add, icons. We haven't touched on icons yet, and icons, I wonder if they have lighthouse ones. Let's have a look. Oh, they do.
So many.
Wow, they have loads.
Any kind of lighthouse icon you could think of.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, so as I said yesterday, like you can literally spend ages just looking for an icon. Like, wow, there's
Yes,
so
because how do
many.
you decide? There's
I don't know.
so many options.
So many. Oh, I don't know actually if I like that one. You can add 2, but I'm just gonna add 1. So you can. So sometimes what I do is I find if I find a block image. Actually, let's find a block. Let's find a block one. Let's go to add icons. Let's find a lighthouse that's more blocky. So sometimes you can tease people by putting something over the top. So probably the wrong colour. But sometimes, you know, you can do stuff like this and then put text over it, like, you know, new post. And you can turn the text around, which I find is really cool. Let's just drop the size.
Yeah, that's fun. And then make people go to your feed and take a look at it.
Yeah.
Bruce asked if you have ventured into any nighttime photography at all.
No, I haven't, and it's something that I really, really want to get into.
Yeah.
I have I can't remember, was it last year? There was a meteor or something that everyone could see. I don't know if you could only see it from the UK.
Yeah.
And I can't remember, because it Comet Neowise, I think it was called. And that's when I tried to get into it, because it was the first time you'd see it for like another 1,000 years or something.
Wow.
And I really wanted to try and capture it. So yeah, it was the first time I really sort of delved into sort of night photography. And the pictures came out really well, so I was really pleased with it. But yeah, it's something I haven't really tried, but something that I'd like to in the future, definitely.
Yeah.
I'd really like to try.
Opens up a whole new world.
Yeah, I'd really like to try it with sort of like what is it? The Northern Lights. I'd like to capture the Northern Lights.
I would love to see the Northern Lights.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be so fun. Fairy asked, do you ever try shooting in fine JPEG for fun and personal? Or what do you typically shoot raw and then drop it into or are you shooting JPEG mostly? What are you shooting?
Yeah, so now I shoot just raw, which if you put them into Lightroom, obviously, and your phone, it can take up a lot of memory, because raw files
they're big,
are huge. So yeah, I used to shoot JPEG, but then I realized actually no, I do want to be able to edit my photos a little bit better.
Yeah, you have more control.
More freedom in it. So all the photos that I shoot now are in raw, the JPEG and raw, and then if I want to keep the JPEGs I can, or not, I have to go through and delete them. But it's the best of both worlds. And I've got, because if I'm not going to print them, then the JPEGs are okay. But
but if you ever wanted to print, then,
or sending them to clients or whatever, then the raw is best.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I shoot raw now, but I did shoot JPEG in the past, and you can shoot raw off your phone on Lightroom Mobile, which is great, because that then just automatically saves to Lightroom Mobile. So it's good that way.
Just go right in and edit from there.
Yeah.
So pretty. The framing on this one is just so beautiful.
I had to run to a sand dune, and then with all my bags of a camera and everything on, and I'm trying to climb up, and you shouldn't really be climbing up sand dunes, because like they're really good habitat for wildlife, but I did, and then I just saw these like beautiful purple flowers, and I thought, oh, it'd look beautiful if I could just capture the lighthouse in the middle, and yeah, so it worked out really well.
It's beautiful. Yeah, photography can be a workout.
Exactly. It really can, especially when you've got the quite a couple of heavy lenses in there.
Yes.
Let's use this one.
I love that one. I love the white against the warm colors.
Yeah, it was
so beautiful.
Layouts. Probably go for that one, I think. And that one up there, I think. Move that one in.
So you can adjust the size of the block, right? By like dragging that little bar.
Yeah. So you can adjust if you want more of it or more
and then
that.
Zoom, pinch.
Yeah.
Pinch to zoom in and out of the images.
Yeah. So if I wanted to zoom right in, I could. We'll just leave it like that.
Yeah, I can make it exactly, which is nice because a lot of other editing apps where you can make collages and stuff, you can't adjust the size of the frames or the little blocks at all. It's just kind of, that's what they are, and they're like that. You can adjust the image usually, but it's nice to have freedom over the actual like sizing of the blocks too.
Yeah. So I just want to break them away because I don't think they sit that well. So yeah, you can create loads of these. So I've got a few more images of lighthouses. So I could have, the main photograph again on the grid feed, and then the carousel could swipe to this, and then do another one where there's the lighthouses are in a different layout, and it just makes it. You can just have a carousel where you literally just swipe through pictures, but this just breaks it up and adds a bit more creativity to your photos, and I do like to try and do that as much as I can.
It's a little bit more interesting than just a whole bunch of single photos.
Yeah, and it's just
sometimes
a creative, sort of like a creative portfolio. Hold on, I wanted to get on the background of this. I didn't want that photo. Layout, colour. Oh, it's brought out the purple from the flowers. And the red from the lighthouse. But I think I'll just stick with that. Oh, I quite like that. It's so hard choosing.
I know, especially when it gives you so many great options.
Yeah, that's it. Blue. Brown, I mean. Oh wow, yeah. So you can also have your animate the photo, so you can have them zooming right in if you want to, or you can have them panning to the side. You can have them sort of grey and then bringing in colour. I quite like that actually.
That's really fun.
They start off sort of grey and then it gradually they come through in colour.
Come to life, yeah. And
obviously there's blur. Yeah, wow, that's different. There's fade. Yeah, I think I'd like the grey one.
Yeah, because then especially like the pink flowers come through so nicely.
Yeah. You could have this as well in the carousel because you can have videos, can't you, too? Grid. So you could have it as an animation, people swipe across and then it's like a nice little animation. Just being creative, and again it all comes down to standing out from the crowd,
setting
doesn't it?
Apart.
Yeah. So it's like a nice little collection there of different ones you can use.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Rachel, for sharing all of this with us. If you guys missed the full streams of yesterday and today, you can watch the replay on Behance, which is super awesome. Make sure to follow Rachel. It's Rachel Hannah is her Instagram handle. And then stick around. There's going to be an Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge right after this. And then that will be followed by a video editing stream with Jessica Hirsch. So stick around all day. Make sure to also sign up for Max so that you can join in on all the fun things that are going on there. And we will see you guys next time.
Thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you for your questions.
Yes. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.